Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Dallas, Texas, it's time for Dallas Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Dallas Business Radio, and this is going to be a good one. Today on the show, we have Buddy Ozanne with Probity Advisors. Welcome, Buddy.
Oh, thank you, Lee. It's good to be here.
Well, before we get too far into things, tell us about Probity Advisors. How are you serving folks?
Okay, so Probity Advisors, we help people create and conserve wealth. We're an independent registered investment advisory firm, registered with the SEC, and independent. We offer our clients financial planning, estate planning, business succession planning, retirement planning services, and we follow that up with excellent asset management services to fill the client's needs on a fee-only basis, by the way.
Now, I think in today's world, especially with the turbulent times that we're dealing with right now, to have somebody like you on the team is a must-have. It's not a nice-to-have. I think that when things are going well, then everybody's kind of quote-unquote system is working great. But when things are kind of going through a rough patch, this is where you need a steady hand of an advisor. How do you help your clients, through this kind of, what are some of the conversations you're having with the clients now, as opposed to if I was there on my own and I'm seeing headlines and woe is me stories left and right, and I'm just going to have to sort through this on my own without any help? Like, I think that what you're doing is critically important.
Lee, that's a great question. First of all, I've been in this business now over 50 years, 52nd year. And my entire career, I have focused on helping people plan for retirement, plan their estates. We do a lot of estate settlement work. We help people take people to attorneys that do a great job of setting up trusts and so on and so forth. And my dad actually started our business back in the 1950s. And so we're serving, in a few cases, fourth generation clients of our family, of our business family. But it's all been focused on planning. And so when times get tough, we're able to take our clients back to the plan and show them where, yes, we've planned for down times. We expect during your retirement, we expect, after someone's passed away and we're managing money for, widows and orphans, we expect these times, and we show them where we've gone through the process of planning, so we expected these times. This is what we're doing about it, and according to the plan, you're still on track.
Now, how do you help people with the mindset? Because as people age, it's one thing like you're going through your working years, and you have a plan, and you're like, I'm going to invest. And so when there's a downturn, you're like, good, I'm buying things on sale because I know I feel good about all this, and everything's, going to be better down the road. And you keep investing in a downturn, and then it goes, the market goes up, and then you're investing, and maybe you're not getting as many shares, but you still feel good about the system because you're betting on some better future. But what if you had to retire, last year, and you were going through the downturn at the time where you're no longer accumulating wealth, you're deaccumulating and spending down your nest egg? How do you help people through that time? Because that's a mental shift. It's one thing when you know that I'm always refilling that bucket, but now when I've stopped filling the bucket and I got to live it with what's in the bucket, that's a different kind of mentality.
You're absolutely right. And I will say this, that my observation has been over almost 52 years in this business, that our happiest clients are clients that can afford to live on dividends primarily. Those clients, when they retire, honestly, it just doesn't matter. As long as we have them broadly diversified, we have some in fixed income, but on the equity side, focused on dividends. That's not where the problem is. The problem is where people haven't been doing their financial planning long enough to have a portfolio that's focused primarily on generating income from dividends and interest. And so they kind of have to create. We have to create the dividends for them in the form of capital gains, selling off some capital gains. And you're right. Somebody, if they begin this process just as they retire, and their assets are invested, as well as we can along according to modern portfolio theory, which is the system that we use in determining what kind of asset allocation that we provide for clients. If we're having to depend on that, then the client has to go through. We have to take them through a planning process that shows them what's going to happen if indeed they wind up retiring, and the market goes through a downturn like we're experiencing. Once again, we want to make sure that plan stands up, and it becomes a spending policy issue. We help our clients figure out, what their spending policy should be, planning for a potential downturn. Once they hit retirement, it's not. It's more comforting than just saying, "Well, this happens," but it's problematical for people. But what we find is, if we're doing the planning right, the asset allocation will hold, and our client's portfolio survives.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to, again, you have to have somebody on the team doing the work that you're doing to play out scenarios and what ifs, and could you live with this kind of a budget, or what would be the most you would need, what would be the least you would need, what are you willing to sacrifice, what are you not willing to sacrifice, when it comes to lifestyle or choices or vacations or future, giving grandkids stuff. Like, all of these questions should be asked and answered well before you're retired.
Oh, absolutely. And you mentioned someone has to be able to help people figure that out. And one of the things that we're really blessed with here at Probity Advisors is, although I'm in my 70s, we have 5 CFPs who do a great job on the planning side, and we have 3 wonderful analysts, 2 of whom are CFAs, who do the portfolio construction to meet the goals that our planners set. And one of my policies has been, ever since we created Probity Advisors, was to hire people that are smarter than I am, and so that makes life pretty easy for me right now. I mean, we have our own analysts that are, that are paying attention on every day to what's going on in the economy and doing, company-specific research, portfolio construction, and once again, to meet the goals that our CFPs, our planners set with our clients. It's a great marriage, and we. Like I say, we've just been blessed with wonderfully smart people and wonderful clients that have a tendency to stick with us. And but Does that answer your question?
Yeah. And where do you fit when you have a portfolio or you're managing someone's portfolio or any of your clients' portfolios? Where is, obviously a portfolio is investing a lot of times in other businesses and other organizations. How much of a portfolio should you invest in yourself, in your own entrepreneurial venture? Is there a place for that in your clients' portfolios?
Oh, absolutely. We have a lot of entrepreneurial clients, and honestly, the best thing in the world for people to do if they have a good business idea is to invest in themselves. But once that business begins to make money, and it's throwing off profits that are not immediately needed, that business needs to be looked at. We do actually. We manage for entrepreneurs a number of portfolios for businesses. We refer to as sinking funds, but they're just portfolios of investable cash that the business has. We counsel people on setting up retirement plans for tax efficiency and ways to save for their employees and themselves. And so, we really encourage people to invest in themselves if they have a good business idea. Once that business idea starts bearing fruit, then we encourage those entrepreneurs to begin to diversify and move so much so that they're not wiped out if their particular industry gets hit by a recession or something worse.
Now, it sounds like your firm is kind of holistic in the sense that you're trying to watch your clients back from a variety of places, whether it's from wealth management. It sounds like there's some insurance in there as well, and a variety of ways to really be that trusted advisor that a person needs if they really want to have that kind of good retirement they dream about.
Yeah, that's a great point. My father started our business, or the incubation of our business, back in the 1950s when he went into the life insurance business, and he opened an agency for the Guardian Life Insurance Company in Dallas in 1960. I went to work for him January the 2nd of 1971. Guardian created the very first insurance, to my knowledge, the insurance company-owned mutual fund, which I think is still there. And when I went to work for my dad, the first thing that he had me doing was killing people on paper, filling out the estate tax return for small business owners as if the owner died, as if the spouse died. And back then, the estate tax rate was 70%. The top estate tax bracket back then was 70%. There was no unlimited marital deduction back then. So in a community property state like Texas, if the business owner's spouse died, or if the business owner died, half the value of the business was exposed to estate tax with a $30,000 exemption. And like I say, up to a 70% tax. Well, we would run these numbers, or I would run these numbers, and we would have the business owner, show them what the cost was going to be of the business owner dying, the spouse dying, and then we would try to help figure out, okay, so how do you reduce the cost? How do you? And one of the ways of doing that, of course, is to get life insurance out of the estate and available for the family to use, either to pay estate tax or to live on. And that evolved into financial planning, which evolved into providing financial solutions for retirement planning and other areas of financial planning, and that evolved into a fee-only basis of serving clients. We still actually own the insurance agency, but that's not really a part of Probity Advisors, and so we make available to our clients the ability to acquire life insurance to solve that part of the financial plan and estate plan. And we fully disclose what the costs of doing that are and what individuals that are in that agency get paid. But Probity Advisors is a fee-only institution and totally separate from that agency.
Now, do you think that the role of financial advisor, obviously some of the job requirements have changed over the years and what they may do on a day-to-day basis, but at the heart of what they're doing is helping people navigate a successful retirement and have more, I guess, predictable income as they age. Has that part changed? Is it still a relationship business where you really have to care about people? It seems like a lot of folks are moving to this robo-advisor world where they think they can just put in, pay a fee every month that just comes out of your account. You don't have to talk to a human, and it all just happens like magic.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, and some people are going to do just fine with robo-advisor, but they're going to have to, if they want financial planning, they're going to have to do that themselves too. If they want estate planning, they're going to have to either do that themselves or go find, somebody that'll do the estate plan for them, an attorney, CPA, a CFP. We find that our clients are very comforted with the holistic approach that we take. We provide the planning, and then we find the solutions for them. And of course, we provide some of those solutions, but not every client is going to. You're absolutely right. In our business model, care for the client, integrity, really, really good people providing service is really the key to success.
Well, I think that, as you mentioned earlier, you have clients that span multiple generations, which I think is pretty unusual in your industry. That most financial advisors, their kids don't pick up the same financial advisor. They're kind of go their own way. So if you've been able to crack the code to have multiple generations still under your umbrella, you must be doing something right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As a matter of fact, honestly, then this a big key to my success has been prayer. I've prayed for guidance. I pray every day for the ability to help somebody. And a long time ago, when I first went to work for my dad, that estate planning focus that we began with and we still continue with is actually that's the key to the code. The fact is that if we do the estate planning, we get a really good estate planning attorney involved to draft the documents. When mom or dad passes away, the family seeks out our help in doing the estate settlement work. And during that process, we get to kind of shine in front of the family. Okay, well, so we do. This is the next step. This is the next step. We get a tax ID number for the trust. Whatever it is that that we're doing, we allocate assets between trusts. We help hold their hands through that making that decision process. We then do financial planning for the beneficiaries to figure out how much income they need. And what happens is when someone dies, instead of the kids taking assets to their relationships, more frequently we wind up with additional assets because they see the competency of the work that we've done for their parents.
Well, I think it's super wise to invest in the next generation. Like, why try to find brand new clients when you have a pile of them just sitting there with your existing clients?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. In the estate planning and estate settlement process is key to hanging on to those clients.
But most, at least in my work, I've seen a lot of financial advisors don't want to invest in the children because they don't have the assets yet. And but if you wait till the last second, they might already make a decision. So at least show them some value prior, so that they think of you when the moment comes.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, to that end, we're not snobs. A lot of our competitors will say, we don't want to deal with you unless you have $1 million portfolio or a $500,000 portfolio. There's TV advertisements. I won't mention the name. If you have $500,000 or more, come to us. We're not snobs like that. We have actually created, a small account service for kids and grandkids, where, grandparents, parents, they want to set up a 529 account for for their kids or grandkids. We're going to help them do that. And so, we do invest, in, generations to come, but we also, in the estate planning process, we get our clients to bring their families in before anyone dies to help the family, the kids understand what their responsibilities are in the estate plan. What the way their parents have set up their estate, what their ultimate goal is for their family, and what the kids' responsibilities are with regards to, what do we do if dad passes away and mom, needs mental care assistance, for example. And we have those frank discussions with the family. We get to know the family. We get to know the kids, and if the kids have needs, we're going to figure out a way to fill those needs too.
Yeah, and what better way to teach them the proper way to save and to get the power of compounding working in their favor earlier the better.
Absolutely.
So, what do you need more of now? How can we help? Do you need more advisors? You need more clients? What do you need?
Well, of course, we need good, experienced advisors. Actually, we have, like I mentioned, 3 analysts. We have an SMU football player is interning with us this summer. But our most recent employee hire has been with us 8 years. He's a young CFP. We have 5 CFPs, and they're all, of course, younger than I am. We have great tenure. The youngest, like I say, employee has been with us 8 years, and it goes all the way to 2 of our CFAs have been with us 20 years. We would love to find an advisor that likes the kind of client-centric, fee-only, client-loving, planning-focused service. If that appeals to people, the idea of being independent of the big company, we're looking for those advisors. And of course, we would love to add clients. We work solely by referral. None of our people do cold calls and such. So sure, we're still looking to grow.
So if somebody wants to learn more about Probity Advisors, what's the website?
www.probityadvisors.com. Well,
buddy, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
Lee, thank you for having me. This has been a fun experience.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on Dallas Business Radio.